When you think of Greece, you normally think, let's make a quick stop in Athens and then hit the islands, Santorini, Mykonos, Crete. But what about northern Greece?
When we headed to Greece, we were expecting to hit up the top sites that everyone talks about. We wanted to get that Instagram photo of whitewashed towns and a gorgeous sunset.
But there's another Greece that most international tourists have never even heard of. It's a place with ancient monasteries, historic villages, and hidden beaches. And that's the Greece we're going to share with you today.
But first, welcome back. If you're new to our channel, I'm Gillian and this is Stephanie. We retired early to travel full time. And if you're looking for more adventure in your life, you can subscribe for a new video every Sunday.
We love our life of travel. We love going to all those iconic sites that are on everyone's bucket list. Since we started traveling full time, we've walked the walls of Dubrovnik. We visited the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. We crossed Ponte Vecchio in Florence and so much more.
We tend to visit the world's best known destinations. There's a reason why they're so popular. The downside of this is that we end up fighting for elbow room with all the other tourists.
We always knew that we would go back to Greece one day. We visited Crete a few years ago and knew there was just so much more to explore. So we finally booked that one-way ticket to Athens and thought we would just figure out the rest once we got there.
We rented a gorgeous apartment in Athens and we took the month to see the city while we planned our next move. We spent our days visiting the top sites. We went to the Acropolis Museum, we wandered through Plaka and the Agora.
And of course, we totally treated ourselves to all the Greek classics. We had lots of grilled meat, seafood, spanakopita, spit roasted lamb, delicious kebabs, and even a few desserts.
Meanwhile, we spent our evenings trying to figure out where we could possibly go once our month in Athens was up. We initially thought we'd get to one of the islands that everyone talks about, whether it was Santorini or Corfu or maybe Naxos.
But we quickly discovered that spending a whole month on any of these islands during peak season was totally unaffordable. Now, you might be wondering, why did we need to stay a whole month? Why not just stay a week or two? So for those of you who are new around here, we're slow travelers. We spend a month or more in each destination, and we do this for a couple reasons.
First, it really lets us settle in and get to know a place. When we stay a month, we don't have to rush around trying to see all the sites in one day. Instead, we get to take our time and see everything at our own pace.
There's another reason, and that's our budget. So when we stay for a whole month in a destination, suddenly accommodations become 30 to 40% cheaper, or maybe even more. And then we can put those savings right into having more of the good stuff, like dining out, entertainment, everything that makes travel fun.
So when we realized that a month on one of the islands would totally blow our budget, we felt stuck. We wanted to experience more of Greece, but we weren't ready to break the bank in order to do it. And we also weren't ready to stay in a less comfortable Airbnb for a month just for the chance to see Santorini.
Just as we started to think about abandoning Greece altogether and flying off to another country, we discovered northern Greece.
We'd been combing through the guidebooks and online forums trying to find our next destination. We were looking for a memorable Greek experience that was also affordable.
And that's when we heard about this region of northern Greece filled with ancient monasteries and historic villages and really gorgeous hiking. So this was the Greece that we had been hoping to find the whole time. It sounded authentic, it sounded a little rustic, and just totally spectacular.
But it also sounded really difficult to get to. When you travel off the beaten path, logistics become a lot more complicated. So when I dug into the details, I discovered that the train could only take us so far, and we couldn't take the bus with our two little dogs. We even considered flying, but that would have made it even more expensive than going to the islands. We were stuck again.
Finally, we realized that renting a car was really the only way to make this trip possible. If we were going to see what northern Greece had to offer, it had to be a road trip. However, the cheapest car we could get was also the smallest car we'd ever been in. So we all piled in, 2 humans, 2 dogs, tons of luggage, and the first stop on our road trip was Meteora.
This is an area of Greece known for monasteries that are perched on top of these unusual rock formations. The best way to take in the views of the monasteries is on foot, so we spent our days hiking and visited a few along the way. These monasteries are spectacular. They're hundreds of years old and were built to give the monks complete isolation all the way at the top of the rocks. After a couple of days of exploring, we ended our time in Meteora by watching the sunset over the rocks. That was it. We knew that we were in for an unforgettable month in northern Greece. From there, we headed to an even more remote part of Greece, Zagori. This is an area famous for its historic stone villages that are tucked throughout the mountains. They're connected by stone bridges, and back in the day, it was the only way that people could get from village to village. Now, while we were there, and since we love a challenge, we couldn't resist hiking the Vicos Gorge. This gorge has 20 kilometers of epic views, and we had it all to ourselves. Zagori was even more perfect because we stayed in a charming guest house and got a taste of village life. Now, eventually we were ready to return to civilization, and we made our way to Yanina.
This is a city on a lake that is absolutely spectacular in the fall. Most of the downtown is pedestrian only, so it's perfect for shopping and dining and enjoying just a very relaxed lifestyle. It turns out that Yanina is all about the cafe culture. So from 11 a.m. onward, every single cafe was filled with people enjoying their coffee. We found that it was very easy to do like the locals and settled right into Freddo cappuccino afternoons. And of course, this was the perfect place to get our fill of traditional Greek flavors. We had the pastry that Yanina is famous for, the bougatsa. We ate a lot of the savory cheese-filled version. We also had moussaka, grilled lamb, and some of the best souvlaki we've tried so far. While we were there, we managed to unofficially achieve a first. So we are most likely the only people who have ever explored one of Greece's largest caves with 2 toy poodles. We will say that both dogs were exceptionally well behaved during our tour of Parama Cave, although likely they were just very confused. Since we were in Greece, of course, we had to get to the beach, but not just any beach. We wanted to find one of those hidden gems that only the locals know about. So after researching every beach within an hour's drive of Yanina, we found the one, Alunaki Fenariu. It just rolls off my tongue. We found ourselves on the perfect beach on the perfect day with only a few locals around. And that was it. We knew we had our reward for making the effort to get off the tourist trail.
Was it easy to make our way to northern Greece and find all these sites? No. But was it worth the extra effort? Absolutely. And it cost way less than staying on one of Greece's most popular islands for a month.
As we did that very long drive back to Athens, there was plenty of time to reflect on our month in northern Greece. We had learned that there is a big payoff for going where the locals go. So they're not fighting for elbow room at Santorini's most famous Instagram site. Instead, they're enjoying their favorite spots, and there are just so many of these favorite spots to discover.
We've come to appreciate that a country is much more than its top 10 sites. We still want to see those famous sites, but we don't want to plan our entire stay around them. Instead, we want to give a lot more time to the hidden gems.
So if you enjoyed this video and you're looking for more, you can check out all our favorite destinations in the playlist right here.